Hi everyone, I'm Peter from RADiCAL. While you can work with your canvas projects, leaving the objects you've placed solely where they are, you can also add a bit more life to them by having them dynamically move as your shot and scene requires them. This is driven through keyframing. Let me show you how. So this here is just one of the templates. All of these moving objects are driven through keyframing. So that's where the falcon comes down, the R2-D2 droid, the camera positioning, everything here is driven through keyframing, and that is reflected down on the timeline down below. All of these points, these diamonds here, are keyframes. These keyframes have the positional data applied to them. So for instance, this is for a rotation of -80, 89, -80, 5.7, 0, 21.3. And if I was to flip it to the other one, you can see that only the positional data has changed because that's all that's changed within the keyframe. If I bring in a brand new object, just for the purpose of this, let's say bring in a TIE fighter. So if I get my TIE fighter into position, clear this. So now that it is in position, if I want to have it flying overhead, I simply have my object selected and then down at the keyframe button here, to edit a keyframe. And then if I move it over, let's say here, and then it's as simple as just moving it. And then when I play back, there we go. Just like that. Now, obviously, the TIE fighters in Star Wars are very fast. This does not look very fast. To clean up and adjust my animation, it's as simple as just taking the pip and moving it. So that already there is a bit faster. If, however, I wanted to change it a bit to make it even further so it goes all the way across my scene, if I select my object and then using the little next keyframe tools down here, I can quickly snap to my next keyframe. How about I bring it all the way back there? I can have my TIE fighter like screaming along super fast. And same ways how I did before, where I don't want it to stop there, I wanted to keep going. Just move it across the scene. Now that's probably going to be a bit sort of too slow. There we go. And the best part about this is that you can keep adding layers to it. So this is just a simple transform through A to B through the positional data. If I wanted to add some rotation to it, so it sort of like undulates and shifts slightly, well, I can add that to it. So my keyframing data is all there. I've got the rotation, add a little bit of sway, and then do the same on the way back. There you go. So now it's sort of like bowing back and forth. Now, because the data for here is going to keep it the same, it's just gonna keep progressing that sort of rotational curve going forwards. And of course, this is just positional and rotation. If for whatever reason I really wanted to ruin my scene, I can also just add, like, make it absolutely ginormous and keep it going. But that's not something I want to do right now. To delete that, I simply what I did there was I right clicked the frame and deleting. And there we go. And there's also the option of copying the keyframe as well and moving it through. That is the very basics of keyframing. So some tidy up, for instance, everything comes down to the timeline. You can adjust the length of the timeline. By default, it starts at 3 minutes. If you click on the time, you can add to it. So for instance, if I was to change this to 2 minutes 35 seconds, the timeline is then reflecting that. Anything beyond or before the time, so my time limit is at 3 minutes, but if I was to change this for whatever reason to 12 seconds, all of that data is still saved and stored within the timeline. However, when I play back, it will only go up to the 12-second mark. So regarding what can be keyframed, it's any object within the scene. So that includes assets such as the TIE fighter itself, that can be keyframed. The characters themselves, so if I was to bring in a character, they can be keyframed. So by having a keyframe there, and what I'll do is I'll bring him down and rotate so he emerges from the ground menacingly. That is dynamically keyframed. Cameras, that can be keyframed, and it's super easy and super impactful there. And lastly, lights can also be keyframed. Where's my light? So if I was to just have, and then as the Falcon lands, what I'll do is I'll return it back down to like a neutral position, just like that. It's important to know that while keyframing is inherently very powerful within Canvas, there are some limitations to it. For instance, these manual settings for light, so the exposure, distance, angle, and the penumbra, they cannot be keyframed presently. Same with the color values as well. If I wanted to go from let's say a purple to a pink to a blue or something of that concoction, I can't do that presently. Likewise, while lights are animatable through keyframing, changing the HDRIs, so from the quarry to the autumn field sky, and then changing its respective exposure and rotation and floor projection, that is not currently keyframeable. We are looking into this as it has been a big request from the community. Finally, joints for characters. So for instance, the main character here, while I can keyframe its positional data, so its rotation like that, that's all fine. Not possible presently to move the individual joints, so whether it's fingers, an elbow, a shoulder, or a head turn. Instead, that is driven through our motion capture, whether that is live motion capture or our core uploaded clips motion capture. Finally, the last thing I'll say is that if you don't know where to begin, or you're very new to keyframed animation, I can understand it can be very intimidating to get started with. We do have a number of templates available to go over this. So a great number of these are already animated. You can just load up something like the snowy tundra, and you've got a huge range of visual assets which are available for you to see. So if I go into the camera, can then also see the camera is animated, the hot air balloons are animated in this instance, the character is also animated, and this is a whole sort of, it's incredible how you can just bring everything together so easily and so quickly with this. And these templates, they're there to showcase that. So that is our super quick highlight to go into keyframing within RADiCAL. Keyframing is available now, and we are taking on feedback. We have seen some of the things that you people in the community have created, and we're stunned with them. So keep showing us, keep bringing them up. You can mention it in our Discord channels. You can also submit feedback for us as well if there's something that you feel like is missing or not improved upon or anything of the sort. You can also share your creations there as well. That's all for now, and I'll see you around. Toodles!